Oh, and we've got a picture this time. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we start today, we've got several things going on. We've got severe weather, northwest Mississippi that will have some. Louisville, y'all be prepared. It's going to be a little severe weather moving into there, and also Noxubee County for tonight. Let's call it 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. Nothing horrifying. It's going to be about a level 1, which means you'll get some downpours, never can rule out a tornado. It's Mother Nature, but most likely it's going to be thunderstorm activity is what we've got. Now, as we move into Thursday, we've been talking about severe weather. We're going to look at the maps on this. Lauderdale County is kind of split. There will be a portion of it that will still be a level 3. To the eastern side of the county, part of the West Lauderdale area at this point is still a level 3. As you go east during Lauderdale County into Alabama, this will be a level 2. All right, let's begin this. Let me turn find our comments and get that back up. Again, I apologize to having to restart there. I skipped a process this morning. If you ever skip anything, you pay for it later, folks. All right. Let's first head out to Collinsville. Let's get a good word, and then we're going to get deep into the weather and let you know what's going on over the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's see what Brother Ben's got to tell us today.
As I read the account of Jesus' crucifixion, death, and resurrection, one of the things that stands out to me is how surprised and in disbelief his 12 disciples were. That just doesn't make sense given that Jesus emphatically told them numerous times what was about to happen. In Matthew 20, we read, "And Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. He took the 12 disciples aside, and on the way he said to them, 'See, we're going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and scribes, and they will condemn him and kill him and deliver him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified, and he'll be raised on the third day.'" You see, this was actually the third time Jesus had foretold his death to his disciples. So Jesus was trying to prepare them for what they were about to see and what was about to happen. But you know what? Come to think of it, the truth of the matter is that nothing could prepare them for what God was about to do. He was about to sacrifice his only begotten Son on an old rugged, nasty cross. And while Jesus hung there, he placed all the sins of the world on him and poured out his wrath on Jesus for our sins, paying for our sins. And after dying, the Father raised Jesus from the dead to prove to the world that Jesus is the only Savior. So it does kind of make sense as to why the disciples were so surprised and in disbelief at the death and resurrection of Jesus. What God did in Jesus Christ is the most incredible thing ever done in the history of the world. And I don't care how many times Jesus foretold it, nothing could prepare you and me for the way that God did it. It blows my mind. And while I might not fully understand it, I'm so glad he did it, and I gladly receive it. How about you? Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Always a great message there. If you don't have a church, drop in and visit with them. They'd love to have you. They're going to do that tonight, and they're going to do it again on Sunday. Great service. Drop in and see them. One of the big headlines that we're seeing this morning, and as the old saying, it took long enough. Nationwide, anybody heard of Chicago? That Mayor Lori, remember her? Crime is high, murder is high, people getting robbed, killed. It's awful there. She lost her re-election bid yesterday. Let's hope whoever it is that takes over puts a direction in this. Crime has went up 58% under her leadership of turning criminals loose. 58%. That's not just an opinion. Look it up. That's fact. Chicago. That's where all that was going. I want you to know the latest as we watch all this. A couple stories that we're looking at. This concerns me because we don't need what's the old saying? Fighting amongst ourselves is not good. Now, again, I was not there. This is the messages that we're getting at a campaign rally or a get-together, basically, of Ron DeSantis as he was having a meeting. They said that Donald Trump, anybody with a Donald Trump sign was turned away, was not let in. Let's hope that's not true. Let's hope that. We don't need them. We don't need them fighting at all. Atlanta, Georgia, when was the last time you went through there? let's just be honest about that. If you're from the rural route, as a lot of us are, in Mississippi, Alabama, and portions of Tennessee that watch us all the time, when you pull into Atlanta and hit that 285 and there's 9 to 10 lanes of traffic, it's really overwhelming, isn't it? It is for me. I'm like, whoa, I don't need to be here. But one of the wealthiest suburbs of Atlanta, where crime also spiraling out of control, is one step, and as they're wording this now, inches from succeeding from the city of Atlanta to where they'd be able to get their own police department and maybe change the narrative of what's going on in their community. Pretty impressive. We'll see how that goes. We also are seeing this. Was it Oregon, one of those states right in there, trying to become part of Ohio? We've heard about this before also, to where one portion, not real big on law enforcement. This side is, and this group wants to go over here where crime will be better and they'll be protected better. Imagine that. There is a dividing line across America at this point. Don't y'all agree? I see it every day. Those who are God-fearing down the middle, and then you have this other group that, well, a little different. They see the world differently than most of us do. God bless them. Prayers for them. All right. We're coming back with the weather. We're going to get into this. Winston County, y'all be ready. Noxubee County for this afternoon. We'll discuss all of this next here in just a moment.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Let's go to radar. Let's look at today first before we dive off into other things of what's going to be going on. And again, most importantly is what's going on. All right, let's back this off and let me turn this on where we can look at this together. Now, this is today. Let's pull up Meridian Honda radar. Here we go. Light rain for the Meridian area as you go northward and you cross right out of Wahalak and you get to about Sugarlock is where this is going to change. All of this area will be a level 1 tonight. And again, remember, storms don't know these lines. Look how close this is. Now, this is going to be Winston, Louisville, all of these areas right here. We'll watch Noxubee, Macon, Mississippi, Missoulaville, all of that. You get right past Columbus Air Force Base into the Amory area, and this will turn into a level 2. Conditions could throw a tornado too. And look at that area that will stretch from eastern Texas right past Dallas all the way over to Huntsville, Alabama, and up to Franklin and Murfreesboro. That's a level 2 for tonight. All of North Mississippi under this. Now, let's talk about what's going to be happening. It's going to be 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be behind the scenes watching this should it become a threat in any way. Tomorrow, as we were talking Thursday, and I kept saying, well, I think this will probably move into the evening hours. It's more than evening hours. This is going to be hitting as you're waking up tomorrow morning. 4 a.m. to about 9 a.m. is what the timeline is now. And let's go back here and let's pull this up and change days so you can see this. Here's radar. Let's pull this back up and go to day 2, which will now be Thursday. This is where call your cousin and leave the house is in this red area. We've got a level 3, which is very, very dangerous. Now, the National Weather Service, the picture that you will see at this point will be further over. This is the very latest as radar updates constantly and changes. Lauderdale County, West Lauderdale area still under a level 3. Somewhere along about right here where the roadside park used to be, East Mississippi Sportsman Association, is where this line cuts right through here on Highway 16 in DeKalb. Let's turn on locations where you can see that in Kemper County of where this is going to fall. Here's Scuba, here's DeKalb. It goes straight up. Let's say everything, that's about 5 miles outside of town of DeKalb and between there and Scuba. This is an 11-mile stretch from Scuba to DeKalb. We're putting it a little halfway, so we're going to call that 5 miles there, and that would put it there about where the East Mississippi Sportsman Association. Now, as you look here at Lauderdale County, and let's look at this good now. As we come into Lauderdale County, right here is the dividing line, Old Highway 8 at Meehan, at the Volunteer Fire Department. This will cut across right here at the Rock House, Owls, Back Porch. That area right there is a level 3. This is beginning at 4 a.m., coming up by Covington's Fish Farm, just north of NAS and out where the landing airstrips are, and then due north into Kemper County. Now, as you look at all of this, most of Mississippi is under this level 3. Only when you get into areas of Clark County does it change to a level 2 here. Newton County, you are a level 3, again, 4 a.m. Now, out to our west, if you've got family members that live in Shreveport, Ruston, Louisiana, Hot Springs, Arkansas, Texarkana, all the way back over to right there at Tyler, Texas, over to Dallas, this is a level 4. Most likely to get something, this is as well. This will be even worse than what could happen here. Can't rule out tornadoes in these areas, but likely and almost definitely will happen here at some point. A lot to watch over the next 24 hours. Your safety is the utmost concern that we have. We will give you the up-to-the-date latest information as it happens. We will be here behind the scenes monitoring when this stuff turns bad and go live to make sure that you know what happens. Not just talking to say words. This is your life. It's important. We'll be here for you. All of that begins. Let's get into what the National Weather Service has to say and do that breakdown for you.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs, record lows, back in 17, a high of 83. Back in 1984, we had a low of 19. Poof. Who remembers that? Today, we'll see 82. Now, the chances of getting some weather up in here, some light showers can possibly happen. As you'll see here, Noxubee County, Winston County, severe weather as we move into the afternoon hours, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. As we look at Alabama, it looks like 83 across Demopolis, Clanton, even up to Birmingham, 81. Not bad weather at all. Here's the breakdown of what we've got of what the National Weather Service put out. That's that area of green we were looking at. Above Amory right here is this yellow, which is a level 2. As you look at the differences, that yellow, severe storms, damaging winds, large hail, golf ball size hail, up to 2 inches. Tornado cannot be ruled out up here. Down in the area of Macon, you're most likely going to get rain, damaging wind gusts, and quarter-size hail. Now, again, it's Mother Nature. It does not know that a tornado shouldn't cross that line, but it's not likely. So that takes a little bit of the worry out of that. As we look at tomorrow, 4 a.m. and until 9 a.m., we'll watch this closely. If there's any delays in openings of anything, we'll get that to you. On the west side of the state, it will be midnight to 5 a.m. But East Mississippi, which is Jackson, Mississippi, east on to Bama, is going to be 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's that line. And again, they're not showing it as clearly on the National Weather Service, but this does take in all of the West Lauderdale area up through here that we went over. Back over here, Philadelphia, Neshoba County, Newton County, Jasper County. Bad weather, level 3, will be here for you on that. Now, this is what we see in Alabama today. Just that northern portion of the state is a level 1. As we look at Bama, it's going to be a level 2 tomorrow. Again, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. for our friends in Demopolis and over at Livingston. Basically the same as Meridian. As it goes across the state, you see how it stretches out there. Now, as we look to what's happening with the temperatures, here we go. Warm, causing these storms, isn't it? Look at South Texas. Now, here's our 7-day outlook brought to you by our friends over at Wilson Outdoor and Power. 82 today, 66 as we get into thunderstorm activity tomorrow. 82 for the high. Temperatures will drop about 10 degrees by Friday. There is a slight chance. We'll go back to radar and look at severe weather on it. For Friday, it will be just east of Lauderdale County on that Bama line. 72 on Friday, 69 Saturday. That's not bad at all. Look at Sunday, 71. Go to church. Pick out your Sunday britches, as my mama used to say. It'll be a great day. 76 on Monday as we go back to work. Look at the temperatures on Tuesday, 79. That outlook on the 8th, 77. And then we're going to start dipping back about 10 degrees as we get into March 15th, all the way down there, about 65. That's not bad at all. As we move, let's check out the fishing calendar. Chet tells us major time today, starting at 7 a.m. in about 10 minutes from now. Grab that rod and reel and hit it between now and 9 a.m. We do have southwest wind, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts are going to be about 25 miles an hour today, so keep that in mind. Now, let me go back to radar before we do this and get ready for the morning show and show you what is expected on Friday as we look at severe weather. Now, Lauderdale County not out of this. They're not predicting a whole lot, but we are still at a level 2 on Friday. Let's look at this. Here we are. You see that big yellow? Yeah, this is Friday. Now, most likely what this is talking about is those early morning hours as it switches from midnight into Friday. It will still be a level 2, and this should get out of here by the early morning hours. But eastern Lauderdale County there, still under a level 2. We'll watch this. This could change a couple of days out, depending upon what happens with the storms as they start moving in will affect what happens on Friday as it moves out of the state. But again, we're behind the scenes watching all of this. We're 10 minutes away from the morning show. We've got a lot to talk about. There are escaped convicts in the state of Mississippi, 3 of them. Beyond dangerous, very dangerous people, no matter where you are in Mississippi at this point, because we do not know where they are. Do not pick up anybody. Do not let anybody in your home that you do not know. We'll talk more about this, but if you're just hearing of this, we had 3 escape from federal custody last night in Scott County at the Love's truck stop, there at the Scott County, Newton County line. Sheriff Jody Pennington and all of those have been up most of the night walking, tracking, trying to find these guys. They've brought in helicopters, drones. They were at it all night. We're going to discuss this more. But again, what is important, if you live anywhere in East Mississippi, we don't know whether they went toward Jackson or if they went this way. They could be anywhere. What we're telling you is to use extra caution on anything you do today with strangers. That's not panicking anybody. Using common sense. We'll be back 10 minutes from now. Odie's in the house. He's going to be filling in for Deb as we get your morning underway. Lots to do, lots to learn together. Join us beginning at 7. We'll be back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.